JJ Watt announced on Twitter that this would be his final season in the NFL. I wanted to take a minute to reflect on Watt's time with the Cardinals and his retirement. Now, obviously, the overall team results have been disappointing. Between the signing of Watt and the way things started last season, there was a lot of optimism, but it all went downhill from there. The season ended in disappointing fashion, and this season has been an unmitigated disaster. But despite those struggles, I think this was a good signing for the Cardinals. Yes, I know it didn't put them over the top. They didn't have any real success to show for it, but Watt did a couple things for this organization. First, he showed that next generation of team leaders how it's done. I know some people like to talk about how toxic the Cardinals organization is, but everything I've seen and heard tells me that that locker room is solid. There are some good leaders in there, players like Budda Baker and obviously JJ Watt, who's retiring, veterans like AJ Green, who's a presence there even if he isn't on the field. And I think JJ Watt has helped show that next generation of leaders, the Jalen Thompsons, the Isaiah Simmons, the Zaven Collins, how it's done. But he's also had some impacts in terms of their on-the-field performance. We look at the kind of season Zach Allen has had. This has been a breakout season for Allen, and I think at least part of that can be attributed to the mentorship of JJ Watt. Cameron Thomas has also soaked up everything Watt has to say like a sponge. He's followed him around, learned from him, and I think he's going to be a better player because he had that time with Watt. Despite the fact that the on-the-field results have been disappointing over the last couple seasons, I think the JJ Watt signing is going to pay dividends for this organization. He will have a lasting impact on the players in this locker room. Finally, I want to talk about Watt's decision to retire. I've seen some of the reactions on Twitter to Watt's retirement, and I just like to say to anyone who thinks that Watt was forced out based on some sort of situation, the team couldn't afford to pay him, the dysfunction in the organization drove him away, I think you are selling JJ Watt short. Watt is a person of high character and higher ideals, and I just don't think he's going to be forced out by any sort of dysfunction in an organization. He's the kind of person that if he decided he still wanted to play, he would play. He would either stay with the Cardinals and find a way to be part of the change, or he'd go somewhere else and play. But I just don't see him getting forced out by some sort of external factor like a team. I think the reason that JJ Watt retired is simple. He decided it was time. With the birth of his son Koa and the health scare he had earlier in the season with atrial fibrillation, I think Watt simply decided it was time. He's going to prioritize his family, do whatever it is he plans to do post-football playing career, and walk into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. JJ Watt wasn't forced out by the team situation. He went out on his terms. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to click like and subscribe for more Cardinals content. We'll see you next time on The Cardinal Rule.